Hi, it's Miss Elise from the Micro Learning Academy. So here you can access our little classroom library. And I have some videos in the past that showed some of the things that our art program has done. And below you can see small descriptions of what we did and why we did it and how we did it, so that you can also incorporate it into your homeschool curriculum or into your public school curriculum. Really, it's interchangeable. I had just as many field trips then as I do now. I'm just in a more private setting now. But what I'd like to do is, because we are primarily member-based, I like to have this free online course for those who still want to access some of Miss Elise's Art House curriculum, but in bite sizes. So I'm going to start with our September theme, which is Roots and Connection. It's created and designed so that the children can anchor in a sense of self and really trust and lead from that space, and have that have them be able to access that with confidence throughout the year, because the year it's going to provide opportunities for growth. And in growth, sometimes our foundation feels a little shaky. So in the beginning, I really like to create this safety and security within them, because we know that the outside can reflect that. But when we're really secure, it comes from our hearts and our bodies and our minds. But in order to do that, I like the kids to lead themselves into it. So it's not me telling them, hey, remember what keeps you safe? Hey, let's go to our safe spot. It's actually them being able to articulate it and find it and use it as a center point throughout the entire year, and even watch it expand and grow and change throughout the entire year. So with the theme of Roots and Connection, we designed the curriculum for them to be able to do just that. Find the safety within themselves and be able to reflect it without. So eventually they can kind of regulate more so on their own and in their own way, right? By just accessing what they need. So we start with a story in circle time. And the story is going to be centered around the self, okay? And it's going to be a story about a family. And I read it along with a visual guided activity. So we'll start with that process. And I'm actually going to bring the kids in so you can kind of get a real life example of how this can flow when children are actually engaged and in the room. And although they're all hearing the same story, how all their life experiences produce a different outcome when they're creating along with the story. So those of you who are new and those of you who are interested, I do also want to use this opportunity as a way to show you what our morning routine looks like. So everyone will arrive at 9:20. We take off our shoes and we actually get a feeling of the ground. So we'll say something like, we'll take off our shoes and I'll just kind of start tiptoeing, and I'll be like, ooh, the ground is cold and it sounds like this. And we kind of use this as a way to get moving to the bathroom, which is where we wash our hands. We do a hygiene routine in the morning. And also we use it as a way to kind of connect body, mind, and center in to kind of a grounded position. So we're singing, right? We're lifting our spirits and getting excited, but we're also touching the ground with our feet. And we're saying, okay, today is Monday and the ground is cold and it feels like this and it sounds like this. And we kind of start making our way to the bathroom, and then we get to the carpet area and we go, now it's squishy and it's a little quieter. And when I jump like this, I can't hear anything, right? And we'll make our way to the bathroom, and then we'll put the soap on our hands, and we'll even look at the soap on our hands. Oh, right now it's like a liquid, and then it turns into bubbles, and now it's catching all the germs, and then I wash it down the sink, and my hands are cold, and sometimes we'll even turn it warm. Now our hands are warm. And we'll watch the germs go down. And at this point, usually we're popping off with questions, or we're just happy and engaged. And then sometimes when we leave the bathroom and our hands are dry and we're walking back to do circle time in the play area, I will say something like, where do all those germs go when the bubbles catch them and take them down the sink? So I just start the morning with some open questions so they can start guiding themselves and leading themselves and creating their missions and intentions for the day. Really instilling that they lead some of the conversations, right? I'm just I'm the guidance to support their system. We'll laugh and we'll sit down and we'll go into our story time on the carpet, which is where I'm going to take you next, okay? And that's every single day we do that. The story I'm going to start with is called This Is Me. And it's by Jamie Lee Curtis and Laura Cornell. And I'm going to take you to our children's room right now, and we're going to do the guided activity with the This Is Me book, which is basically I give them a big sheet of paper. It's newsprint, so it's really big. And I let them choose a marker. So again, just really letting them lead in certain situations. One of our students got a hold of a marker and we've been coloring everything lately. Okay, so I'll let them choose a marker. We just choose one in the beginning. I try to kind of keep it simple. And we'll open the book, and as I read, they're kind of guiding themselves with the marker, kind of like Harold and the Purple Crayon almost. They're creating what they're hearing on paper. And it's very interesting how it morphs, because each person will take their life experiences and start to put them on the paper. And so that's what we're doing. And the scene does lead us into like a boat, and the students end up putting things inside the boat. And that is what leads us into our next lesson. Remember, right now we're learning all about them, and it's supposed to be a very what is the word I'm looking for? Intuitive. It's a very intuitive process. We want them to learn how to kind of tap in, see what comes up for them in the moment, and then also kind of see how their surroundings are giving them information, maybe even new information, and how that feels to them. So it's really just always guiding them into themselves and back out, and making connections that actualize information and create sustainable knowledge. All right, let's go. Okay, ready? So everybody has their big newsprint. Okay? Here you go. Yes, you can. All right, and everybody's going to pick one marker. We're going to start with one marker, and while I read, we're going to start drawing the words and the images that make sense to us. Okay? We're going to start drawing the words and the images that make sense to us while I read. Okay? So your images and your drawings are going to work alongside the words that are coming off of the book. Does that make sense? Okay, the project is all about me. So today we're going to learn about somebody else, and we're also going to learn about you all. Okay, so the story is called This Is Me. It's a story of who we are and where we came from. There are two authors, Jamie Lee Curtis and Laura Cornell. And do you remember what the author is? Does the author create the words or create the images?
The words.
Creates the words. Okay, so can everybody start with a big boat? Whatever your boat would look like. Can we go ahead and start drawing a big boat on our paper? If you look up here, what type of boat is this?
That is a cruise.
It does look like a cruise ship, doesn't it? And that's okay if you've never seen a cruise ship before. What other kind of boats are there?
They're normal boats.
What's a normal boat? A kayak. Sure, sure. Where did you learn about kayaks?
Well, our grandma has goes kayaking with our grandpa.
Okay. So your grandma, you could add your own boat, you could add a kayak, and it's tied to you. It's tied to your story about your grandma. I love that. Thank you. My great-grandmother came from a far distant place. She came on a boat with just this small case. Great-grandmother left her family and friends to cross the great sea to a land at the end. So let's start creating a land that you've been to or that makes you feel happy by your boat. Let's go ahead and put some land. Maybe you add trees, maybe you add some animals that you love. Her parents informed her, she had to say, tomorrow we leave for a place far away. So fill up this case with things you love best. Sadly, you'll have to leave all the rest. So let's imagine you're going to get on this boat to your favorite, safest place. And you have to pack the things that you love in your suitcase. Can everybody draw a little suitcase or a bag or maybe a backpack? Everybody draw a little suitcase or maybe a bag or maybe a backpack. Wow. And then put something inside of it. What would you like to bring? I'd like to bring my bearded dragon. So I might just draw my bearded dragon on top of my head. And then I typically like to bring around a little black backpack. So I'm going to put that in my drawing. And I'm going to put my cat in there.
I want to do my drawing.
It's looking really good. It's looking really good. Did she wear all of her clothes to leave her more space? Could her family album fit in this case? I know she took ribbons and some things to eat and shoes when they said to take care of her feet. Her whole family tree, pen and pencil set, one writing journal, a comb, a barrette. Great-great-grandma's necklace, her own handmade doll that she clutched on her journey when she felt very small.
Mama, we can make the order on here. Make the order. Mama, we can make the order.
Oh, great. So maybe a place that you feel safe is where you see otters. Where have you seen an otter before?
The beach.
Oh, really?
No, sea otters. Sea otters.
Sea otters. Where do you see sea otters?
Well, sea otters live in the ocean. No. Sea otters.
Have you seen one before?
Not
Can
really.
you draw me what you think a sea otter might look like?
Yeah.
How did she do it? What would you take?
She's black. Otter's black, and I dived underwater and see.
That's true, they are black. Would you be scared that you'd make a mistake? How would you know, in this case, what to pack? That once you left, there'd be no coming back. So you,
No.
my dear class, have big choices to make. When you bring this case home, what will you take? Let's raise your hand when I'm reading, please. Let's raise your hand. Yes, sir. Can I show you what I would take in my case? Whoa! Look at this. How could you take all that across the ocean? What would you take with you if you had to take something and you were never, ever, ever, ever going to come back? What is the most special thing you would bring with you?
A giraffe and a bat.
Me too. I couldn't take my paintings or Diglett, my rat, or trophies or school books or Dad's hand-carved bat. I'd take lots of photos.
My grandma does get out of my Play-Doh.
And the doll my gram sewed. And my first inline ticket to Katie's first show.
A creature was into my grandma, and my grandma died. And my grandma died. And my mom didn't die.
Your great grandma.
And
So you could take lots of.
my mom didn't die.
You could take lots of photos because those are memories and they're small enough to put in your case.
One time a creature with my pet. You could bring your iPad.
You could bring your iPad. That's very true. And you could actually use your iPad to take more pictures and make more memories. My punk rocker Barbie, because my mom was one too. My barely stuffed bear and good old Winnie the Pooh. Is there a stuffed animal you might take if you couldn't take all of them?
Hey, look at my store. Hey,
Can you draw me the stuffed animal you would take? I know you have a lot of them. A lot. Show me which stuffed animal you would take from your room if you could only take one. Abuelo's beret, my ukulele, my St. Christopher medal to look out for me. Oh, that's a gorgeous stuffed animal. Yeah, do you want to color it in? Do you want to give it some fur?
Yeah.
Do you want to show us what color it is? Are there any medals you would want to take? Are there any sports you play? I know you play soccer. You could bring some medals in your backpack.
No, that would make them lost.
Okay. My USA passport that makes me feel free. My Nintendo DS with my fave, Luigi. My signed Harry Potter, my baby tooth tin, my aunt's high school class ring, my dad's navy pen. Wow, that's beautiful. It looks really fluffy with all that line work. I like that a lot.
Mama, look.
Could probably sleep with that on the ship.
So you're going across the ocean with a kayak.
Whoo, brave.
To a land. And
Show me what's on the land.
And there's, look, it's a home for an owl.
Oh, that's lovely.
And
I know you.
And since you're going across the ocean, there's my grandma, there's a shark and there's a whale.
A shark and a whale in the ocean. How are you going to get past them? You might need to pack something for that.
And my dad roasted in lava.
Oh, man. Lava is so red. That was a good choice. And my...
They hit it.
Oh. Yeah, you've got a good point. We might need to think of some things we would need to bring for safety as well as comfort. My Groucho Marx glasses, weird AI signed CD, my Notre Dame jersey, my karate gi. Well, now we're thinking about some safety.
And then my dad turned to a creek.
What about Legos? Would y'all want to bring your Legos, a camera to film when I leave? If this really happened, it would be hard to believe. So you guys could bring your iPad for pictures.
And playing again.
But I'd be so excited with all that was new. People and things to meet and to do. Great work, Elena, for the time that you took. This suitcase is like your very own history book.
And look at my new shoes.
Oh, shoes, guys. We really need to think about the shoes we were going to bring. How about we draw ourselves, put it in the picture with our shoes. This is great. This is great. Whenever we come in, we take up our shoes. And it looks like we got new shoes. Let's go ahead and draw you in your new shoes on your great adventure. Look at the colors you'll need. For who you all are isn't just what you've got, but part of what you learn, part of what you're taught. Who you become starts with your past, family histories, and stories that last. This great tide that brought you, seeds ancestors sowed that took root inside you and helped you to grow. So now if you'd like, my loves, you can draw pictures. Pictures all around of the people that you love and the people that you know. Who are some of the people you know and some of the people you love?
Hey, can you put my shoes on?
You want your shoes on? Did you draw them in your picture? Can we see? You could trace them too. Yeah, yours is turning into like you're really navigating a lot of problem solving on the ocean with that kayak.
My shoes.
Oh, okay. I do see your shoes. I do. Now listen up. Can you see up here? Now you take this case and imagine it's true that you're leaving and needing to choose what says you. What would you take? Which things would they be that say to the world, hey there, this is me. You guys ready to open this up? It opens.
I want to open it.
You want to open it?
Yeah.
Okay, let's open it up. What do you think she's bringing? What do you think she's bringing? What do you think she's bringing? You have to put stuff in it. You have to put stuff in it. Let's look at your drawings and see what you packed and see what you're missing. I think we need a snack.
Look at my snacks.
Okay, and then we go into some of their backgrounds of the stories. We ask them individual questions. We learn about their families. And this will be a part of our family history unit. So we actually will add on to these. We'll color these. Some of these might even go home. And it kind of becomes a journey. Okay, this will lead us into our group activities. And we start with letter recognition, sticking with our roots and connection. We're going to go off of our story and we're going to start with our name. All of our students are at different places with letters. And so we always use some kind of visual aid to help. We find the letters in our name. We place the letters in our name together on paper. We do start with the capital and the lowercase. And then we take that and we rewrite it onto what we will create our name tag. So this will be a part of our art lesson and also a part of our group learning activity. Okay, are you ready? We also have those letters too. That'll be for our scavenger hunt to just kind of use the spiral method to retie in letter recognition in a fun, playful way that invites movement. So we're going to take our piece of paper, okay? And instead of it being portrait, we're going to have it landscape, okay? And we're going to fold it in half. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Fold it like this?
Like that?
Yes, well, we want the two edges to meet. So it's symmetrical. Symmetrical. There you go. Perfect. Yeah, and then push down the crease. Okay, this is the name we're going to start with. So we already have it written down. And we're going to... Mishka. We're going to count the letters. Okay, let's count. Ready?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6 letters. And can you circle which one of these letters is your anchor letter? The anchor letter is the middle letter. Can you please tell me where the middle letter is? H? Okay. Perfect. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is you're going to write your middle letter on the middle of your name tag. Can you do that for me? Take your middle letter and write it in the middle of your name tag. Nice and big. Great. So it's all the way up to the top and the bottom. That's really great. And now we're going to make it kind of a block letter. So you're going to pull it out and come down. And so it has a block. It has an edge to it. Great job. We'll see if we can do the next one. It's a bit difficult. Okay, you ready? So now let's find where the M would go. Can you find where the M would go? Now that you have your middle, can you find where your M would go? Right at the beginning, right? And remember, nice and big all the way to the top. There we go. Typically, we'll do this with pencil. we go. Try to make it a block. And there we go. Perfect. What goes next? Can we make that a block? Wow, amazing. So nice. We got to fit that S in there. It's going to be a little squished, but that's okay. Wow, you even went 3D with it. Great. Incredible.
Try to make that book.
It's looking really good. It's beautiful. Okay, what's next?
The K.
The K. Great. Go ahead and get it in there. And you fit it perfectly. Oh, wow. Starting with the shapes. Line meets a line to make a shape. Wow. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Incredible. Yep. There we go. You fit it all on there. Can you believe that? Great work. Now what we do, these are older kiddos, but we take their names and we outline them with a lot of lines. So we kind of ingrain the movement and the motor skills that goes with creating these letters. We create backgrounds. We talk about symbols and images that they like in their life, and we apply them. Usually I can just print them out and they cut them for the ages we're working with. These are just older examples that I have. Sometimes we'll add in yarn or little poofy balls. Again, sometimes I just cut out images and they glue them on. So if they like basketball, sometimes we'll turn their letters into different things. And I'll even use a book to describe stuff like that. We talk about different foods that they like, and we draw those onto the paper.
I can make, for my birthday, I can make crafts myself.
Absolutely, yes. A lot of them just turn the letters into things that they loved, which is really creative, and it goes with the book I like to read. I think it's called It Is a Ball, or Is It? And it takes the ball and turns it into a balloon. And so it's just taking these ideas and taking these things and turning it into something else. So we're using creative problem solving. And so, yeah, we work with the name tags, and we have whatever materials you have or want to work with out. And I do go over the names again in different colors that they love. And then we start adding on to it. So I'll show you this piece when we're finished. Okay, next I have these letters. And, we'll have had snack and we'll have eaten. But our next thing would be like outside and movement. And it's a little free play. But I also hide these letters around places that match the sound. So like T for tree, right? So while they're playing and they're eating and they're drinking, I'll start putting letters around and make them kind of visible. And, you know, I might even get like a fake little frog and put it next to an F. You know, G for grass. And not all the kiddos are to this level of understanding, especially with phonetics, but we're just practicing and we're making it fun. And so it can be more open and about play than it is about pressure to have this letter recognition, right? We want it to be a playful, fun learning experience. So I'll hide those around the yard and we'll find them. And then we do points and treats for those who can recognize the letters in their name. So for Mishka, if he found M, you know, next to like maybe a play mouse or something, and he said M for Mishka, and we put it in here, and then I give him a lollipop or some kind of treat to reward him. And we do, at this level in the beginning, I make sure that you know, any letter that we find that's in their name, we have their name tag with them. And we're saying, hey, I think I see a matching letter. Do you see the matching letter? And we'll take the M and we'll put it up to his name tag. And they'll say, yeah, it does kind of look alike. M. And we'll put it in and I'll say, good job. What's the next letter? eye. Can we find an eye anywhere? And they'll find the eye and put it in. Great job. And when we get their name, I'll say, you found all the letters in your name. And we give them a treat just to celebrate. So that's our little scavenger hunt, our movement, and kind of our playtime. Okay. So while I am starting to get their identity mirror ready. This is the final project that kind of wraps up our day and allows us to sit down and do our journal reflection. This is where I start as the teacher collecting kind of data and asking the kids questions about themselves and getting these really beautiful, lovely, intuitive answers that I jot down for the parents. And then we'll do like a share and tell Friday morning, because they will bring this mirror home and they'll add things from home to it. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. And at this moment, I'm kind of guiding them, like I'm asking them, can you find natural items that are shaped like a letter? You know, and they'll bring them to me. And there'll be things that they like and things that they find silly. And sometimes they'll represent letters and sometimes they'll represent something that they like. You know, it's very organic. And then as they bring me the items, sometimes I'll color on them and I'll wet the paper and we'll make prints. So we start kind of just like playing while still in a learning atmosphere and environment. So there's a little bit of both going on, and I'm still getting an idea of who they are and what they're drawn to, and reminding them about what letters look like, while also bringing in an element of play and creation. So their identity mirrors, we use all sorts of things. I don't have it all out right now, but I'm going to give you the basic essentials. So I use these because they're really sturdy. So foam boards. And then I bought these reflective adhesive mirrors. It has a wrap on it right now, so that's why it's not looks like an actual mirror, but I don't want to take it out because it is for a student. So once I take these out, it's just a white foam board, and then we adhere the mirror to it, and then we take off the piece that's protecting the mirror from scratching, and they have their identity mirror. And then what we do is I start asking them questions, especially while they're playing and we're making prints and stuff. I start asking them questions, and we start cutting things out of magazines. And we start talking about things that they're interested in. Thought there might be a dog in there. And we start kind of collecting items that they like and that speak to them and that remind them of their home or their family. So I'll even have like a ton of crafts out. I usually have like feathers out and the strings out and the poofy balls out, but we still want to leave room for like the family photos or whatever they choose to bring in from home. I like for them to have a little atmosphere here with their projects, but I also like them to bring some of these projects home because they feel differently at home. They're going to think about different things at home, and then they can kind of, bridge the two worlds together instead of just having an experience here and bringing in memories from home, actually taking it home and sitting down. They're going to feel differently and different things are going to come up. So we start playing. I learn about them a bit. We add things here. I'm going to go into the other room because we do have a student finishing up their name, so you can kind of see how that's been going. So, yeah, and then I'll have some examples of these, what these look like when they're finished. But there are something that go home at the end of the day, and they are something that are worked on by the family, and then they are brought back in Friday for the share and tell. Some of the questions I ask are it really depends on what's happening, but some of the questions I wrote down are, of course, their interest, some ideas about their family, or maybe their background. Are they, where are they from? We have some students that have moved here. So tell us about what it was like to move. What did you bring in your backpack? What You know, what was the weather like there? What were your experiences there? How is it different here? What are their personality traits? You know, a lot of my students are like, I'm crazy. You know, they're very playful. What are your strengths? What do you like to do? Oh, you like to sing. You like to play drums. How can we put that on your mirror? Oh, I know. We can draw a drumstick. It kind of looks like a drum. It's a circular. Like it goes. It flows. They go off, you know? What makes you so different and unique? You know, what's special to you? And they really get into it. It's just open-ended questions that just allow them to blossom and be confident and find themselves in conversations, and then take it home and dive a little deeper with the family. So I'll have an example of what those look like. If you don't have these resources at home, you know, you can just also draw like a little self-portrait and, you know, something guided that you could even find on like YouTube, and then just, you know, cut out pictures from a magazine. You can use construction paper and cut out different things from construction paper. If you have a printer, you can look up little images and print them out and cut those out. And those are really great motor skills also. You can just draw. You can find things outside and put them down, you know. The sky is the limit. The sky is the limit. So after identity mirror, we sit down and we do a little reflective circle, and we open up their journal. It's like a compositional journal. So at the top, it has space, and then it has places where we can put words. Not all the students are always on the same page in terms of writing. So we just kind of draw pictures and we laugh and we make it free. And I ask them questions like, oh my gosh, do you remember what we did at the beginning of the day? Do you remember how your feet felt? Did we ever answer that question about where the germs went down the sink? And we just kind of guide the day. What happened today? What did we do? What did we learn? And it's just a space to reflect and see how we're feeling. Let things come up that maybe couldn't come up throughout the day. And then we'll wrap up and we'll clean up and we'll say our goodbyes. And then I see you the next day.